What's going on, everybody? Welcome to part 2 of the video. First things first, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and comment on the video. You know, your boy trying to get famous or whatever. But going off of part 1, make sure to check out part 1 if you haven't on the private phase at ATP Flight School and how I got 66 days ahead. And here we go. So your instrument phase, how this is gonna go. Coming off of private, literally right after Checkride on the flight back from Gastonia to Concord. And if y'all don't know, I'm based out of Concord. That's where I'm doing my flight training at. So right out of Gastonia, we did our instrument flight on the way back. So instrument phase is basically, that's your rating to get, basically fly through the clouds. And the first flight, we actually got some actual clouds we flew through that day. And cause I don't know here, and with the minimums ATP gives you, it's only 1,000-foot ceilings. You're not really gonna get a lot of actual. So we did that. It really seemed like a lot on the first day. Like coming out of private, my brain was dead tired after that check ride, after all the studying and everything I did. So I really wasn't even paying attention to that first flight. I was just trying to get it out the way and go home. Basically you're gonna be learning how to look at your instruments and how you should keep your scan going and maintain a level flight and everything. It's really simple, once you get the hang of it. But it is going to be a lot of information coming at you because it's going to be words you never heard before. It's going to seem like a whole foreign language to you when you first get it, when you first start. But first thing you want to do, like I said last video, is you want to knock out your tests. So you're going to have your IRA written. You're going to have your FII, which is your flight instructor for instrument. The IRA is the instrument written. Then you have a choice to take your IGI written, which I strongly recommend. That's your instrument ground instructor. Because after passing that test, you can apply to get your gold seal as an instructor. And that looks good on your resume. I'll repeat, for airlines. And you know how it is right now that, hopefully everything picks back up, but it looks good on your resume that you have that. So I got 87 on the IRA, 90 on the FII, and 86 on the IGI. One thing that you don't even need to look at anything else. You want to look at Shepherd Air. Don't look at nothing else. Shepherd Air, literally, but it does have, I think it was 1,100 question bank, 1,100 questions in the bank. It is going to be a lot. But you are going to pass that test easily if you look at those questions and go through those. So you're going to want to do that, get that knocked out of the way. Boom, another weight off your shoulder. So then once you take your test, you're going to have your instrument basics, flights, that's like 2 or 3 flights, and then you have your instrument basics AATD, which is your simulator. You're gonna be spending like 40 hours in a simulator, so you're gonna get real comfortable with it, flying through the clouds. Not even looking at what's outside. So you're gonna have that first, then you're gonna have your instrument procedures flight and simulator, and then you're gonna have your instrument progress eval. In that eval, they're just gonna see how you're doing. It is gonna seem like a lot, like I said, because you're gonna have to be doing a lot, be looking at the charts for, the jet charts and briefing those, getting your weather and all that jazz. So once you do that, they're just seeing where you're at and how you're progressing in that eval, and then you're gonna go to your instrument check ride prep. Instrument is gonna be way faster than private, so you're gonna have to be, on your game now, because when that ATP says that it's a 6-month course, fast paced, they are not playing. So boom, do those flights. Now you're going into instrument check ride prep. So you're gonna have your scenarios. You're gonna start getting scenarios like, I don't know, say your pitot-static system blocks up and it fails, or your alternator fails, something like that. You need to know what you're gonna do. You got lost comms or something like that, you need to know what to do. Then you're gonna have your 250 nautical mile cross country and your 300 mile nautical mile cross country. On my 300 nautical mile, I went down to Craig in Jacksonville, Craig Airport down in Jacksonville, ATP headquarters. That was real cool. Really gave me like a taste of how it's gonna be flying in the airlines, and you know, getting comfortable with going to different airports, you know, like bigger airports than Concord. So did that 250 nautical mile. We went somewhere in Virginia, then to Raleigh, and then back to Concord. Raleigh was real cool. I got to see, like, that's a bigger airport than even Craig was, and that's really got to see how it's gonna be in the big leagues. This whole time you're gonna be doing instrument cross countries. They have to be airports at least 50 nautical miles away. So that's what you're gonna be doing for your flights each day. You're just gonna be practicing doing like ILS, localizer, RNAV approaches, stuff like that. So once you do those, you're gonna have your mock check ride. You're gonna have your mock check ride with your lead instructor. He's gonna go over, basically, this is gonna be a real straightforward check ride. You're gonna have your oral, and then you're gonna have your flight. You're gonna have to do one precision approach, one non-precision approach, and one approach without, they have to kill either like your PFD, MFD, or something like that. One thing I forgot, you want to take your commercial, your CACS written test while you're in instrument, because next step after instrument, you're gonna go to crew. Crew is not, currently in crew, and you're gonna have to take your CACS as soon as you get back from crew. So you might as well just go ahead and get it knocked out in instrument. It's the same thing, you just do Shepherd Air. And I think the question bank is like 900 questions. So boom, you want to get that knocked out before you even take your check ride for the instrument, to get ahead of the game. And then for the check ride, I had it with Adam Rosenberg on the 11th of December. And some things I did to prepare for it, just like the private, I had the ACS. It tells you everything that you need to know on what's going to be on the check ride. They have to go through this. The examiner has to go through this. And this is going to be your key to success for the check ride. So I'll also, you have Pilots Cafe. Pilots Cafe is literally, that's going to explain everything in the instrument phase. So you want to go through the Pilots Cafe as well as the ACS, and I had all those. I gave like myself kind of like questions they might ask on Quizlet, and put those in Quizlet, went over those every day. Got my girlfriend to ask me something, like to explain it to her, just to get a better understanding of what that concept is. And so did that. Had my check ride on the 11th with Adam Rosenberg at Concord. And the oral was probably like 30, 45 minutes. He was kind of in a rush because he had a check ride before me, but oral was not bad at all. I mean, you definitely need to know your stuff, but it was not bad at all. It was easier than my private check ride. Check ride is very straightforward. You got to do, like I said, first we did, he gave me a scenario after we took off, like your MFD, PFD failed, and we had to divert to the nearest airport, went to Mid-Carolina, did approach without my PFD, MFD, missed, then landed, then gave me amended miss instructions, did the ILS, I believe, back into Mid Carolina, and then we just did the ILS back into Concord. Super easy check ride. It was like a 1.2 hours for the check ride, so it wasn't bad at all. Now I'm studying for my FIA written, and now I'm on crew. So now we're just flying to, like, we've been to Tennessee, Raleigh. You know, it's just me and another classmate, just flying places without the instructor. Really getting to see how it's going to be. So thank you for watching the video. Hope everything I told you helps you, and make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll catch y'all after I take my commercial check ride. Deuces.